Yo, what is up, YouTube? I'm Blitz5. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Super Mario Run. So I've been waiting for this game to come out for a very long time, and I know there's a lot of people out there who have been waiting for this game. Finally launched December 15th, which is pretty sweet, and this already has the beginnings of being like a Pokemon Go 2. So this game has already been super successful. On launch, I had like millions and millions of downloads. I think worldwide, I read an article saying that there's already been 10 million downloads, which is huge, and that was just on the first day. So today being December 16th, there's going to be more and more downloads, and then as it spreads and people send it to their friends and say, hey, download this, I'm sure this number is going to grow and grow and grow, just like Pokemon Go did. I mean, the first couple of days of Pokemon Go were slow, and then that first weekend, like, everybody downloaded it and blew up. And that's not only the only similarity that this has to Pokemon Go. They're both kind of owned by Nintendo. Pokemon Go was actually licensed out to Niantic, which was like something that not a lot of people understood what was going on there. Nintendo only had like a small ownership of that game while it was published through them. But this is a huge deal for Nintendo either way, because they're finally letting their content onto other platforms, and mainly right now it's only with Apple. So I'm sure they might have some kind of deal with them. I can't say I'm sure. I have no clue, but one would assume that they have some kind of deal with Apple, because they kind of want to they're not going to spread their content, at least me knowing Nintendo and who they are as a company, they're not going to spread their content onto Xbox and Sony, because then that makes the Nintendo irrelevant. You know, you buy Nintendo because not only is it like a fun system and a family system, but because of all of their IPs like Mario and Yoshi and Mario Party, all the games that come with the Mario family, I should just say. I don't know why I'm individually listing games, because it's just the whole Mario universe, and everything that's associated with that is like only on Nintendo. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other things that I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now, but we all know what we're getting when it comes to Nintendo. And that's something that they've held really close. And I like that, because it makes Nintendo its own company, like its own thing. And it's totally different when like sometimes PS4 and Xbox One, I'm kind of like, why are there even two systems at this point? Because they're just so similar, and it's just like cutting the player base in half. So Nintendo's out there doing its own thing. It's completely different. The graphics aren't even in touch. But with Super Mario Run, the graphics look great, and it's really cool that they worked with Apple and iPhone, and I guess this is going to be on Android too, so I don't know why I said before that they're working with Apple. It's just because I have an iPhone, I guess I always think that it's coming to Apple exclusively, but I guess this is like mobile for everybody. So I guess that's interesting. I kind of contradicted what I said there, but I didn't really think that, that Android kind of plays a part in that as well. So anyway, same thing though. Let's just say mobile. They've definitely got mobile, and that doesn't really bite into their console market share, because some people dispute this, but I'm still a firm believer that mobile gaming does not kind of hurt, or in the industry, in like business, they would say cannibalize their own business, like console business, because people who are mobile gamers, probably a portion of mobile gamers don't play console games. And then for me, playing a mobile game doesn't really give me that fix of playing a console game. It doesn't stop me from going home and playing like Xbox. It just kind of substitutes it, because I'm a hardcore gamer, and it's nice to have something like Hearthstone or Mario to play in the airport, or like when you're sitting on the toilet, like a lot of people do, playing a game, or on the subway or whatever in the car. So this is really cool that they did that. This app is awesome. It looks really fun, but from my initial impressions, I'm just super worried that it's going to be exactly like Pokemon. I mean, I don't even think I'm worried about it. I know this is going to be Pokemon Go, because this is basically Mario Candy Crush. It's very like a lot of repetitive stuff going on. It's just like you keep going through each level, and you want to kind of go back, at least like the completionist in me, you want to kind of stay in that level until you get like a good enough score to move on to the next one. And then I've already noticed there's like a town that you have to build, and this reminds me, my girlfriend plays a game, like some cooking game, Cooking Dash I think it might be called, and after you beat, like, you get a restaurant, and then you kind of beat levels in the restaurant, and then you can buy another restaurant. And this looks just like that. There's like different little buildings you can buy and bonuses, so you keep going through the levels, and then you can buy stuff. But to get the full game, you actually have to pay $9.99. So it's not like a free to play game where that entices you to spend money. I think you actually have to spend money to get all of the full content, which is fine. I mean, I'm fine spending money on a Mario game. It's really cool. But, I already saw the thing like come back in 8 hours and you can do this bonus thing again. And the levels I could see getting super repetitive. I've only played the first 3, and it's already kind of repetitive. I mean, it's fun, something to do, but it's just like any other game. Same thing with Pokemon Go. When these mobile games that don't have a lot of features in them and you're just constantly catching Pokemon, or in this case, you're constantly just running through the map, it's not really enough to keep me interested. And you kind of have to focus enough to the point where, for some reason, when I play like Candy Crush on the subway, it never really bothers me. I played that for years, like not every day, but every once in a while, because it's so mindless. But with Pokemon Go, in this game, you actually kind of have to try. So you make a really simple game where you have to try, and then people get burnt out on it really fast. When something like Candy Crush is like mindless and you don't run out of steam playing, because it's just like you're just flipping through things and you don't even care if you really beat the level or not. When in Mario, like, I really want to get all the coins if I'm going to do it, because if not, then I'm not even going to play. And you actually have to focus pretty hard. Like, I was about to get off the subway, and in Candy Crush I would just keep playing, but in this I was like, all right, let me put my phone down, get off the subway, and then I'll start this next level. Like, when I sit down, I'm not going to play this and like walk at the same time. But what's cool is, I know I'm going through a lot of things right now, you can play the game with one hand, which I really appreciate in today's world with like huge smartphones and like also always being on the go. So you pretty much only need to use your thumb, which is really nice. I know it's kind of like noobish, but for on the go, it is a mobile game. I think this is like an excellent feature that you can just play with the one thumb, because like you can almost do it with Pokemon Go, but then sometimes you wouldn't flick the ball far enough if you just use your thumb, and then you'd have to use two hands if you're holding shit or on the go or holding onto the subway. I always say that because I work in New York City, so I'm like taking subways and stuff like that all the time, and you don't always have two hands available. So this is huge for stuff like that, people in cities. It's wonderful. That's good. So what else? I played some mode that was called like rally mode, I want to say, where I had to use a ticket that I had earned playing the game, and then I kind of played, it was almost like a time trial where there was like a stamp or a ghost of a player that had done this as well, and you kind of competed for like style points and how many coins you could collect through the map. It was basically just like a versus mode, like 1v1 versus mode on the map for the most points. And I did a couple of those and I won all of them, which was cool. I picked, I don't know, the people that I played like weren't that good, and then there was like a Nintendo one that I beat as well. And then with that, I got some extra, there's like coins, stars, other different stuff. I haven't looked at all that. There's multiple levels of like what we would call in-game currency. So I couldn't really buy anything with the coins. Everything with the coins was like decorations, and then you could get a house with like a star, which I don't have any, but I was able to purchase this like bonus thing. And then you have like this little map here, which is like where the castle is, I think. It's basically just like the town, and then you could build that eventually with all the stuff as you keep playing, like houses and buildings and all this stuff. And I don't know, it just looks like you have to build all this stuff and you keep playing. I'm just kind of repeating myself, but that was cool. But immediately you just see that it's just a very grindy game, just like Pokemon Go. You do the level up some stuff, you get the next building, then you do all those missions, next things, all that stuff. So after playing Pokemon Go for so long, I mean, I stayed on Pokemon Go probably more than the average person, and even now and then I play it again. Going into this being another Nintendo title, kind of the same thing. I don't know if I'm going to have the patience to like stick around and play this game a lot, but it's something about it being new and just coming out. And I know a lot of people are going to be talking about it, that, you know, I definitely want to play it and kind of be on the scene, which I like to do with like any new video game. It's kind of fun to let the hype overtake you and like what you think of the game and stuff like that. So let me see. I'm going to go to my friends list in the game. I should have been just using the app while I was doing this commentary to like give you guys a more accurate description of it. I can't record my iPhone. If you had like a Mac, or if I had a Mac, I could do that, but I don't. So I'm not going to do some weird like hacking stuff to put up Mario on my screen on my YouTube page. But let's see. There is the menu. Now let's go to friends. Let's go to add. So let me share my player ID. So I'm Blitz5, obviously. It's going to be my username. And my player ID, I'll put it on the screen, is 9413 2565 5891. So it's 9413 2565 5891. And yeah, I'll put that on the screen. Add me if you got this game. If you're one of my buddies or anybody out there in the world, definitely just download this game. Why not? It's free. It looks good. I mean, it almost looks like you're playing on a Nintendo, because Nintendo's graphics are so ridiculously behind. I know they don't really care about them. But anyways, it looks good. Who knows what's to really come with this game? Find out more. I've only played it for like a total of an hour so far, so probably not enough to give like an honest first impressions or review of the game. But just saying, I just wanted to make this video to say, cool, this game is out. Been waiting a long time. This is like unprecedented to see Mario on another platform. And yeah, add me on Super Mario Run. As always, I'm Blitz5. Thank you all for watching, and peace out.